And we're back. How you doing, everyone? This is your host, Jeezy, a.k.a. Jesse, a.k.a. whatever the fuck you want to call me. And up next, podcast is what you're listening to. And up next is my guest, Ramon. Ramon, go ahead and say hi to the audience and introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you, Jesse, for having me on.
Hey, you're welcome, man. So, yeah, we've been knowing each other for, like 20 plus years. So,
since high school, yeah.
Since the 90s.
Yeah. So just to put cell phones?
Yeah, just to put it into perspective. I know we were just kind of talking about that stuff, so offsite.
Oh, yeah, man. Every time we get together, we always talk about how things were.
Yeah.
That or movies.
I know. I don't know what is it with these old timers, us. Yeah. We're the old timers that we used to see our parents kind of go through those kind of things. And now that's us.
We're like, man, why are they always talking about the past and shit? But now that's all we do, so it's crazy.
I think it's nostalgia. I think part of us kind of maybe just remembers the good parts.
I feel we remember who we were at that time, so you don't want to lose that. So we talk about it. Remember, kind of, because we're not the same people.
No,
we were 20 years ago.
We grow.
I feel we're better.
Yes.
Maybe a little whiter.
Oh my God! Like if I could take everything I know now and shove it in that person that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Whew. But I mean, you wouldn't know what you know now if you didn't do what you did back then. I guess right. So
we have to go through the struggles.
Yeah.
That's what makes us stronger.
But yeah, man. Since high school, I think that's when I met you.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of like friends. You're a friend of a friend. I don't think I really clicked with you till after high school.
I think so. I think we connected a little more after high school. Yeah. So during the high school days, we knew each other.
So many people.
We hung out in the same crowds.
Yeah.
And you know what? I get that a lot because everyone's all like, no, like, remember that one person? I'm like, no, I don't know that person.
Oh, like, that's me all day.
Like
that's me.
They expect me to know who they are. It's like, just because we all hung out in big circles, I don't know everyone.
I think just people have a gift of remembering that way. I do not.
Really?
Remember, if it wasn't for Facebook or Instagram, the people that I've known since middle school through high school, I would totally forget about them, even their names. Because even right now, I get hit up for friend requests, and I see their face, and I know them.
Okay,
I've seen them. I have no idea who they are. I have to freaking search and figure out. Even went to the yearbook a couple of times.
I get that. I get that a few times too, man. I'll like somebody will friend request me, and I know they're friends with one of my friends, and I'm just kind of like,
that's when I accept.
I don't know you.
Yeah, I have like a rule of it's like 10 people that I know him or her.
Okay.
All right, we're
friends.
Friends.
You're good.
I'm sure
you're in the club.
I'm sure we'll reconnect. And every once in a while, they'll say, "Hey, remember when we did?" I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I do remember that. You looked way different. You were totally quieter. You were whatever."
And that's the great thing about time, man. We all just get a little open out of our shells.
Right. Yeah, but we hung out more as grown ass men.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we I remember 3 houses ago when you used to have things over there. I used to come over and.
I've bounced around in Moval and here, finally settled down, and even now we're thinking about moving. But that's grown up stuff. We're not here to talk about real estate and stuff.
Well, I do have a good problem skin.
I know. Huh? Is it? Well, I got a perfect guy. If you're looking to sell.
But that's how it is, man. So, unfortunately, most people that from high school I don't really talk to very much, and not because of anything bad. It's just everybody kind of does their own thing, goes and. I feel you try to connect, and then you give it a try, and then you say like, okay, it's not feeling well. We're kind of different. Yeah. And then you go on and then things like us, where you gave it a try. We hung out a couple of times. We're like, okay, this mofo fucking, we're the same. We're like we
like the same stuff.
Yeah. So I don't like
we
the
relate.
Football team, but whatever.
Oh,
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But anyways. We click more now than we did back then, and
absolutely, man, absolutely. So I mean, let's I don't know where you want to start from the beginning or you want to start from more recent. I always give it like dealer's choice for my guests, so it's kind of like you want to talk about yourself. In other words, you want to talk about yourself now, or maybe start from the beginning where you started your life story.
You're the host with the most, baby. Just give me
host
whatever questions you have. I'll answer as honestly as I can.
Well, since we started with the whole high school jazz and us being back in the 90s, let's rewind the clock back, man. And let's give us some fond memories, man. What stands out to you back in the days of high school?
High school? I mean, it was tricky. In the beginning of high school, you had a plan, and then by the time you leave high school, you're a totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
But me, obviously, it's just the people. that the friendships that continued going on. I mean, I obviously the relationships, the girlfriends, the hookups, the parties, the ditch parties, a lot of kind of bad things that I don't want my kids listening to. Probably,
but those are the little experiences.
You remember those, Yeah. But then there's also memories of things that happen that not so good, with fights and people getting hurt and cheated on, and this and that. But it's it molds you. I think
it does. Those little experiences, man. You just you just don't know where they lead to. Where each tiny little choice just kind of leads you on a new path.
But it was definitely, top threes. Obviously, Wonder Boys.
Yeah.
It was just a group. I was a Wonder Boy per se, but I never really felt I was. But I just knew you guys.
Well,
I knew mostly everybody before.
Yeah, mostly because we all hung around the tables.
Exactly,
we all were like that high school crowd together. And we all just kind of like we all clicked because we were all like in the same circles.
Yeah, so it's just basically it was a group of people that we all liked each other and hung out, and we're like, hey, let's just throw parties and chip in on beer, and
that's what it was.
And if one night my mom would let me go, I would go. It was just,
and
that was the thing, man. I don't know, shit. I just couldn't. I couldn't get out of the house, man.
And even sometimes when my mom wouldn't let me go, I'd still go.
I try. My fat.
I only did that one time, to be honest.
No,
it's so funny too because my mom freaked out because I was like, oh yeah, hey mom, I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. And it's like, what? It's 9 o'clock.
I know. I should.
Yeah, I'm really tired.
You should have greased up those hinges because every finger door you crack it, you would hear everybody would hear. So I could not sneak in.
I bet
I could.
WD-40 man.
I could.
I can't stand creaky doors in my house.
Oh, so. I have that right now, and I'm gonna keep it that way because my daughter's 10. So I'm like,
there you go.
Creaky. I know exactly where you're going.
There you go.
At all times.
You gotta have those alarms too.
Yeah, for reals. But yeah, honestly, when I was a freshman, they screwed up my schedule to where I had a normal 6 classes was normal, right?
Yeah, normal.
I had
6
8 classes.
Wow.
Holy shit. I had a 0 period for football, and then I had a 7th period.
Really?
And they asked me if they wanted to change it. I was like, whatever. I'm gonna be at school anyway, so I kind of just see how it went. So the whole freshman year was that. So I built up so many credits to where I didn't go to parties, I didn't do nothing other than school stuff, or my mom would let me, whatever. And by the time I got to junior year, I only needed 2 or 3 classes.
Dude, that's awesome.
And I was done.
That's amazing.
So I'd do first, second, third, and then I'd kick it till lunch because big boy got to eat.
There you go.
And then I'd go home, and then, before I worked, I'd just go home, and then I'd ride my bike back.
You started working back then?
That's when I was 16, 15.
Really?
Yeah.
Where were you working at?
Well, when I was 15, before I got my permit to work, it was selling newspapers.
Okay.
Yeah, the Press Enterprise. Before that, it was Moreno Valley Times.
Really?
Yeah, dude. So go up door to door. I'd be that guy trying to sell you a 6-month subscription for $15.99.
Okay.
And I got good at it. Just learn how to talk to people.
Most
of the sales are really they just wanted me to leave.
Yeah.
They're like, $15 for 3 months or 6 months for this crappy paper. Yeah, sure. What do I sign? And I was in and out just like that.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Yeah. So and then they got.
So that was your first job?
First job.
Okay. What was the next job?
McDonald's.
Right okay. I started off at Carl's Jr.
Yeah, I'm sure half the people that I know worked at the one that I worked at.
Which one's that one?
It was on Indian and Alessandro.
Oh, okay, Alessandro.
Yeah.
The Alessandro. Yeah, it's so funny. My wife worked there too.
Yeah. See. Yeah, my sister worked there. My brother worked there. It was literally down the street from where I lived. So that was really the only reason. And they said yes. Obviously, I applied everywhere around where I lived, but literally.
What do you remember about that time?
The girls, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
like the customers or the staff.
No, the staff.
Oh,
it was really we're all high school people, and there were girls from schools that Valley View, schools. Canyon, that I never knew. So we just
there you go.
We see them, and you partied after after work. Somebody had a car. I had a car, or I could borrow a car.
Yeah.
So and then I would hook everybody up.
There you go.
R.I.P. Cosmo. He was my number one guy.
I know.
Dude.
R.I.P.
Yep. Yeah, I saw him in the line. He knew he was getting something extra. He just
man. How did I not know? How did I not like? Hey, Ramon's working at McDonald's.
Yeah,
I don't remember that
one. Should have told you. I don't know.
I think the other. I remember
Porky
Michael.
Yeah.
He was at KFC.
KFC, yeah.
Yeah, I remember like we would go there a couple times, and who else?
Oh yeah, he hooked it up.
Man, I don't remember anyone else at that time. I worked at Carl's Jr., but I was like not the cashier person. I was like, dropping the fries and prepping some of the sandwiches. But
oh no, I hooked you. I mean, if I knew you, I would sneak up to the front, like just put no lettuce or some bullshit so I can know what order is yours.
Yeah.
And like whatever you order, I just made it like 3 times as big. Like like for Cosmo, it was the Big Macs. I would put the quarter-pound meat.
Oh, okay.
Instead of the little baby meat.
Yeah, the little thin meats.
I'd put the quarter-pound. You couldn't even close the damn box, bro. It was crazy. And I got called once for the manager.
Oh, okay.
But she was cool. She was like, just don't do that again. I'm like, that's my cousin. Well, look at him. He wants to eat that shit.
He wants
He's a big boy.
He hungry.
Yeah. So he's like, just don't do that again, okay? I'm like,
what? I did that one time because I would hook people up randomly. Yeah. So when it'd be like they asked for a single Western, sandwich, I'd throw in like an extra patty in there, and I'd still wrap the paper. You'd wrap the paper where it said it's a single. Nice. So that's how you would know. So I just throw it in there. One time my manager did like, hey, like, what are you doing? It's a single. And I put an extra. Like, so they opened it up like, oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no,
like I was going so fast.
Oh no. Yeah. And I would, my brothers and sisters would come in, if whatever they wanted, I would throw. It was I worked at the worst time actually. It was when they had those freaking 29-cent cheeseburger Wednesdays.
Oh my god, that's what I remember.
Dollar nuggets and on Thursdays and the fish on Fridays, and then Sundays was a cheeseburger. That's when I worked.
Wasn't it like 29-cent hamburgers, 35-cent cheeseburgers, right? It
was 29 hamburger Wednesdays, 39 cheeseburger Sundays.
Okay.
And then depending if it was Lent, it's like $1 fish fillet Fridays.
Okay.
And then the nuggets were, I think, $1. And the only I remember this because it was hell, dude. If you worked the afternoon shift, man, people were just crazy. Bags and bags of these fucking cheeseburgers.
Dude, that's how it'd be. Like we'd be at parties and everybody, all right, let's go get some McDonald's. Like, oh, it's Tuesday, it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday. Let everybody collect their money, and then we just go stand in line and go grab like a bunch of burgers.
But it was literally the most money I've ever like physically had like in my life though, because I had no bills.
Oh, okay.
I had 0 bills, and I was making like.
So it was all profit.
Yeah,
it was all
everything. I didn't even have a bank account. I just went straight to the.
Just to you cash it, huh?
Yeah, there was a little bank across the street.
I remember that.
Called
those days.
Home Savings of America, I think it was called. I would literally just walk right over and cash it, and it was like, it wasn't much. It was like maybe $250 a week.
Okay.
But, I mean, $250 a week.
Yeah, for us, cash, that was like and thousands of dollars. Yeah. Like in our time right now, and like our thinking right now, that's like
I tell my lady
so much.
I feel like a drug dealer because I would just have stacks of money in my fucking underwear drawer.
Okay.
Because I couldn't put it on a wallet. I didn't want to lose it, but I had literally stacks, just rolls.
Wow.
Of just money, and then
that's good.
I was like, I gotta stop this. I got a bank account, and then the cash went, but for like a good maybe 6-7 months.
Yeah, I wasn't like till I turned 18. I got a bank account. Yeah. I was like, all right, I got to start putting it somewhere. But yeah, I was the same way. I would just cash it, spend it all.
See, I would go buy clothes. Like I said, once again, my mom wouldn't let me go nowhere. I didn't spend it.
Well, she raised a good boy.
Well, I mean, she got that Mexican guilt trip. She would use that on me, and I would break down. I'd be like, oh, I won't go because it's gonna kill her. She's gonna worry about me, and she's gonna knock, tip over and die. So, but that kind of went away like my senior year. It kind of like she kind of knew where I was going, and it was most of the time I would just tell her straight up. I'm like, all my friends are gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's right here in Moreno Valley. I really, even to this day, I'm not really a big drinker, but if I got really drunk, I just make sure that I didn't smell like it when I got home. But that rarely happened. Mostly, I just wanted to hang out. I really wanted. I wanted that was the fun thing. I wanted to be there.
Yeah, just to be around the people, be around the friends, and get together. And we got pretty wild and had some good times and met some good people along the way.
Yeah. But I have fond memories of high school. I mean, I joined my first band in high school.
That's right.
Yeah, we did a bunch of parties. We performed to school a couple times.
Yeah. You did the Battle of the Bands, right?
Yeah, 2 years in a row, champions, man.
Wow. Yeah. There you go.
My senior year, we won, and then I graduated, and then
I remember we were there, man.
Yeah, I formed a new band. My guitar player was a senior, so he got to have his band. You know, my buddy George, and then we performed again and won again. And we actually beat half the members of my previous band.
Okay.
Yeah, because they had somebody that was still. I think it was like Jermaine. I think
so. Yeah. I don't. Honestly, I remember just like, hey, we're gonna go to Battle of the Bands. Yeah. And I remember like, yeah, Jermaine's gonna perform, and Ramon's gonna be there. Second one. Yeah. And then Michael too, and Bobby, obviously. Yep. Honestly, to me, it's kind of fuzzy. I don't remember the names, and I don't remember who was where.
It was. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 bands. It was nothing big. It was the first. The year I was a senior was the first time they did it, and before that, they used to have it before, but I guess decades ago. Before that, maybe early 90s or whatever.
Okay.
But my senior year, we won, and it was with Mike and Bobby.
Yeah.
And my buddy Sergio, and
that's right.
You know, things happened. We broke up. I started my own band. And it just so happens that the guitar player, George, he was a senior. So we're like, oh, want to do Battle of the Bands again? We're like, sure, let's do it.
There you go.
And we ended up winning again. So
that's dope,
that
man.
was pretty cool, man.
What was the name of the band?
It was, the original one was One Motive.
Okay.
And what was the second one?
I know that's the one I probably didn't hear.
Oh, Denied.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that one.
All right.
And that was our name longer too. I totally forgot about Denied. Yeah, One Motive was my first band. There you go, man.
We're all about unlocking memories we haven't thought about.
And sober too, man. That's crazy.
That's what we do here, man. I'd be surprised. We'd be having a conversation, and then it just leads to a memory. Yeah. And you're like, all right, I haven't thought about them forever.
Yep. It was Denied.
There you go, man. True.
So that was the second win, and then we stuck it out, tried, played places, played clubs, played
really
where we could. Yeah, man.
So you were like, grinding. I was gonna say, what were those like traveling van type?
But it was all bands. It was all IE stuff. Okay. Some stuff in the OC, nothing too crazy. Yeah. It's just wherever they had like open mic nights or band nights where we just went and asked, hey, can we play? And then we just showed up. All you needed one demo. That's all I really needed.
I think we showed up a couple times to other shows. I remember we went somewhere. I forgot where, but it was somewhere. I think it was either in Orange County or San Bernardino County. And I think it was one of the guys from Sublime. It was Long Beach All Stars, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Bobby got kicked out. We were all there partying. It was like 2002, 2003. Okay. No, it might have been 2004, 2003. Anyway, somewhere around there. But yeah, I remember just kind of like, there was a little moment in time where we were kind of traveling ourselves. And I don't know who was performing. I don't remember, to be honest. Like, this is kind of like...
Yeah, there was a lot of, like, cool spots where bands would play, and just even no-name bands, whatever, but just live people that wanted to perform live, and that was cool. I miss those days because it was kind of fun.
Yeah,
and it was pretty intimate. It was cool. So, but yeah, high school was basically just party crew.
Yeah,
my band.
Yeah,
I played sports, but it was.
Yeah, I remember you were the ball player.
I was. I mean, but that was just. I was good enough to make the team. But I mean, I knew I wasn't going anywhere.
Okay.
It was fun to play.
Yeah.
I stopped playing.
Hey, you still got the Letterman jacket, right?
Yes, but I don't.
There you go, man.
I don't have. No. Actually, no.
No,
huh? No.
So it's just a baseball cap.
Yeah, I got the letter, but I didn't get the because I quit. My senior year, because it was girls mostly. Honestly, my band we're playing more parties and. I was working, so it's like I had to...
No time for those other things.
No, I had to go to work to make money so I can...
Do the band thing.
Pay to
and you were already senior, huh?
I was already senior. Like I said, I was out of school by nutrition.
Yeah.
And then I go work. And then, got to make money because we were trying to do demos to give out to places so we can play. And
there you go.
Were
you guys getting paid for these gigs?
Hell no.
No, they were just freebies?
They were just freebies. They would pay us, but and we knew. We didn't care. We just wanted to play live.
Yeah, you just wanted to get the exposure.
Yeah, exactly. We just wanted to live that rock star life.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Not that rock star money, but yeah. So that's why we had to work. We all worked.
Yeah.
Every single one. We had to make our money and needed gas money and fix our instruments and shit like that,
Good deals, man. So, let me ask you a question then. So, during those times, you were performing in the clubs and... going through all that. I mean, what is there anything that stands out to you, like a story, maybe something like wacky or something that happened during those times?
The best stories I have was my last band, and it was with Mike and Bobby, and these two guys named Greg and Shortchange and Rob Lee is what their stage's name were. And one was from Los Angeles and one was from around here.
Okay.
And that band, we're called Beyond Quality. We clicked.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, we got together. We got songs real quick, and that's the ones where I have the most stories because, I mean, I met celebrities.
Really?
Who'd
you meet?
Well, the first person that comes to mind, Steve-O.
Okay.
I met Steve-O. We were playing at a club in L.A., and his nephew or cousin's band was performing before us.
Okay.
So he showed up, and it was interesting. We're chilling inside, right, and they're about to play, and I see this guy looks like Steve-O. So I'm across the bar, and I look at him and I go, "Hey, come here." And I just tell him to come
really?
here.
You wave him over?
I wave him over because I had no idea he was Steve-O.
Yeah.
I thought he looked like Steve-O because he was.
Yeah, just whatever.
Yeah, he was cleaned up because before that was when he was like almost dying because of all the drugs and shit.
Of course.
So he recently he was cleaned up. He was not even drinking. So I come up and he's "What's up, man?" He's like, "Hey, I just wanted." You look like Steve-O. Are you Steve-O? He's like, yeah, man. I was like, oh shit.
That's funny.
I didn't mean to call you over like some dick.
Yeah,
I was gonna tell you, dude, you look like Steve-O, like crazy.
Yeah.
But you look.
But you are Steve-O.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He's all, I'm like, dude, you look great. You look healthy.
Yeah.
I told him that I literally like 2 weeks before I saw that documentary where shit, you were gonna die in your apartment. All the drugs were done.
His was really bad, man. Now he just turned his life around. Yeah. So he's doing some good shows and doing his own podcast.
So he's all, I don't drink no more. I'm here because my nephew is performing. I gave him a demo.
Okay.
It was pretty dope. Yeah, I took a picture with him, but shit, I had like a shitty phone, so I think somebody else took one. I never got that picture.
Oh, I remember those days when it was like the first generation of camera phones.
Like I don't even know if it was a Nokia or something. I don't even know what I had. But yeah, that was cool. He was an awesome, nice guy. I didn't want to take too much. Once I found out it was Steve-O, I said what I had to say.
Yeah, of course.
Said thanks. I want to take a picture. He said fine. Then he performed his band, and then when we were gonna go up, I saw he was about to leave, and he's like, I gotta go. And that's when I fucking rushed and did demo, and then we played and rocked the house.
Nice.
But it was cool. And then
that's a good little story, man.
Yeah. So we got to play at the Whiskey A Go-Go.
Oh, that's a good spot, dude. That's vintage.
So the cool was before the show. We got to go.
Yeah, who did I go out there with? I went somebody out there back in the days. I think we all went to not the Whiskey, House of Blues. Mm-hmm. I don't know if anyone was performing or
in Hollywood.
In Hollywood. Yeah. I don't know if we went out there just to go out there, but it was good times, man. Yeah. Those were the days where just, I think somebody would just pick a random spot or hear about something like, hey, let's just go. And, we just all go.
Yeah, but that was, it was all, Rob Lee, he lived in Hollywood. Like, he lived out there. So practicing was interesting. He would have to drive all the way over here. Yeah. We practiced, and he would spend the night at, I think, my friend Greg's house. Yeah. And then we'd practice the next morning, and that's what we would do. And then we would just,
was it Bobby, all original songs?
All original songs.
Tight.
Yeah. So, and it was going good for a while. Mm-hmm. And then, like all bands, I mean, I don't know if anybody who's listening has been in a band, but it's kind of like being in a marriage with like 4 or 5 different personalities, and it just takes one or two to not click to kind of make things go down, and that's kind of what happened.
It's kind of the old saying,
like, it wasn't fun anymore, I guess. But we were playing, man. We got to play Whiskey A Go-Go. We did House of Blues. We did a knitting factory for a K-Rock event. It was it wasn't like a battle of the bands kind of thing. It was like kind of like a discover new band kind of thing with the knitting at the knitting factory, I believe, and that was a K-Rock, hosted it. That was fun. The Whiskey A Go-Go, I think we performed before, not right before, but we were like that night, like Cypress Hill or somebody from Cypress Hill and their side band performed. So we got to play between a big crowd.
Good shit, man.
Yeah, and we did demos and all that, but then it just kind of, it had some personal issues that happened in my life where I had to leave.
Yeah.
and it's still one of my biggest regrets. I kind of wish I would have stuck it out.
Okay.
But I couldn't do it at that time. I couldn't do it.
You did a lot more than a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people think about it, or maybe just
man.
Never actually do it. So yeah,
I have fond memories of what happened. You still have like the what if moments. Like, well, what if I would have just stuck it out? But then at the end of the day, I'm so blessed with how things are going on right now. Like if anything that I would have changed and I won't have what I have now, I wouldn't want to change it because
there you go. Because this is where you're at.
I don't want. Yeah, I don't want anything to change from what I have at this very moment.
It's the butterfly effect. Yeah. Like if you just change one little thing in the past, who knows?
Yeah, me and my wife, we'd have that conversation. Like, if there's one thing you could have changed, would you change it? And I always say, if it meant that possibility of you not being here, or my son not being here, or my daughter not being here, then no. But if there was a way where nothing would change except for that, and I would have everything now, of course. But you never know. It's just one of those hypothetical questions that we ask ourselves. But at the end of the day, I had a good time, and I got some pictures, I got some videos of us playing, so I could show my daughter that I actually did something. But
I like that, man. Yeah, good shit.
It was cool.
So we're gonna switch gears, man. We're gonna jump into some of these questions, and you're gonna honestly
goddamn
just
test.
jump. Yeah, I know. Don't think of it as a test, but I like to do this every now and again, just to kind of get the conversation keep going. But let's start. We'll skip number 3. But here, how about this guy? This is question number 9.
Some sexual questions in there, buddy.
I know, huh? So many questions, but these are the ones I'm going to highlight just for you. What is a funny story that your friends talk about, or family talk about you, that you like to share?
Well, there's 2 stories. They're both embarrassing.
We love embarrassing stories, so please do tell.
Well, the one for my family, the one they always talk about is we were kids with my mom going to Mexico. And it was we were poor. We had no luggage. All our shit was like in black plastic bags. So on the way coming back home from Mexico, I believe, we were at the tarmac and behind a gate, and they were going to open it to start letting people go on the plane. And I wanted a window seat.
Okay.
So I was like, fuck this. I'm about to run with my bags of shit and get to the front so I can get to the seat.
Yeah.
Little did I know, I'm running, and the fucking bag rips.
Oh, fuck.
All my clothes. All the tarmac.
All your chonies.
All the chonies. All the shit that whatever, it wasn't clean. And I'm there trying to pick everything up, and I see my brother and sister. I'm like, help me.
Yeah.
They just passed right by me.
Nope.
I was like, help me, please.
How dare you?
My mom just walking up, just like fucking so pissed and shit.
Oh, my God.
She's like mad at me because I ripped the bags. Even though
okay.
Yeah. Oh,
not so much concern, but the fact that you ripped it. There you go.
It was just, it's a story they always tell when we get together.
I like that, man.
It's always funny.
So what was the story number 2?
Oh, it was something that was dumb, but it was just I'm known for now between a certain close friends.
Let's do it. What is it?
It's not even that funny, but whatever.
All right.
It's my friend's sister was getting married, and we go. Me and my wife Jackie, who was my girlfriend at the time, we go, and I even take my sister and my mom because they knew them, the family. So we go. It's a wedding. We're having fun, whatever, and then we had to leave. And then on the table, I see this Fanta, 2-liter soda, not open.
Okay.
And I was like, me and Jackie just moved out, so we were broke.
Okay.
Like broke. Like, yeah. I had to go to McDonald's to steal napkins so I can wipe my ass. Broke. I ain't even gonna lie. We were broke.
Hey, we've all been there, man.
Exactly. Hey, that's the way it was.
Like, that was the beginning struggle. Me and my wife, we know those struggles. Very beginning, we did those things.
So I see this Fanta, and I'm like, damn, that soda's like not open.
Yeah, it's like it's just sitting there.
I thought I was being sneaky, and I grab it, try to get it, and I grab it and start walking away, and they all see me. They're like, "What are you doing with that Fanta?"
Oh, really?
You look at the bag, it's still soda. They're just making.
Oh, okay. Who was the friend that called you out on it?
It was people you probably. I don't know if you even know.
Okay, we'll just say friend number 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Carlos, it was his sister's wedding.
Okay.
So it was his shindig. So it was our group of friends. I don't know, Sergio, my old band man. People you probably know, but nobody that.
Oh, speaking of that, I was supposed to have Carlos and Sergio come on.
No, there you go.
Yeah,
they'll know that story.
They were suggesting coming on and doing it together. So yeah, we got to get him on here soon.
Yeah. So yeah, that's So everything a Fanta comes up or a commercial or we go somewhere where the Fanta shows up, then they look at me and they give me that weird look.
Right on.
So it is what it is.
All right, next question here. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live?
Probably Canada.
Canada?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a surprise.
Because I can pick some place in Europe, like England or something, but I'm trying to be realistic. I got kids.
Yeah.
I got a wife. I'm not going to go to Spain. Nobody knows Spanish except for me.
Really?
Australia, possibly, because I love just every time I see Australia, other than the, weird animals, it always is like a beautiful place.
Dude, it's
probably
like,
Canada.
I think, isn't Australia like 90% desert?
Yeah. And they're like all these animals that can kill you like straight up, but
like those fucking spiders.
Yeah.
That are like the size of a dog.
Your dogs, yeah, probably eat your dogs and shit.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
dude.
but Canada, I believe, is the only place I can probably live and still have the same lifestyle as I do right now.
Okay. Well, here's a good one that maybe I'm curious to know who you would pick. But if you could have coffee with any historical figure, who would you choose?
Historical figure, coffee.
Anyone dead. How about that?
Anyone dead?
Anyone dead.
Okay.
Technically, that's history.
I was gonna say historical, so they have to be like in a textbook or fucking
No. I'm gonna just broaden the.
I'm not trying to do technical, but give me the parameters.
Broaden it a little more and just be like anyone
celebrity,
dead.
Music, whatever, doesn't matter. Just
dead
somebody
celebrity.
that's kind of.
Dead anyone. Dead anyone.
Honestly, probably Heath Ledger.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I can't go too old because I don't care what I don't.
You don't care about Theodore Roosevelt or.
No,
like
FDR? Nope.
No.
Like, what is this Mexican doing over here trying to talk to me?
Nothing to fear but fear itself.
No thanks. Probably Heath Ledger, just seeing.
Like, hey, man, how was it like being the Joker?
Exactly. Like, hey, don't take those pills tonight.
Don't take those pills tonight. Too late, brother. I'm talking to you from the other side.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking through Ouija.
Yeah, somebody musically maybe.
Okay.
Kurt Cobain would be a crazy conversation.
Well, that was going to be the other question.
Yeah.
I was going to follow up with that. So,
musician?
Yeah, exactly. It was going to be if you could bring back one dead musical artist, who would it be?
It'd be Selena, probably.
Selena. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a curveball. I wasn't expecting that.
And honestly, it just popped in my head.
I would have thought like Jimi Hendrix.
You think so?
Or Jim
but those
Morrison.
were all drug addicts. I mean, they were great musicians, but they kind of killed themselves. Selena was shot.
True.
And then shot in the back by homegirl. So I think she was at the beginning of a great career.
Yeah,
she was already popular.
She was at the top.
Yeah, I have no doubts. I would pick Selena probably.
Nice.
Back. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one here. So, what's the favorite?
Sorry, Jimmy.
What's your favorite trip you've ever taken?
Favorite trip would probably be Hawaii with my family.
Oh, cool. What do you remember about it?
Just the ocean, the sun rises because the time's 3 hours different over there.
Yeah.
So we wake up hella early. Than over there. 7 a.m. over there is 9 over here. So when I woke up at my regular time is like 5 a.m. out there. So we'd wake up and we'd be already ready to go, and the sun be coming up. We'd go out to the ocean.
Dude, that's awesome.
And just watch the sun come up, get some breakfast.
And like perfect weather, huh?
Yeah,
just nice and warm.
People
and
are nice. I just wish we would have stayed longer. We did like maybe 4 days.
Okay.
And we just cramped too much into those 4 days where I don't think we could have.
You know what? I know that feeling, man. We did these little European trip with, it was like 3 days a city, and it was too much.
Yeah.
I feel like you need a week, like, to kind of unwind and really take it all in.
So we got to go again though, because my daughter. We were just talking about it that she doesn't remember. I felt bad because
how old was she?
She was like 5.
Oh yeah, that's little.
5 or 6. I thought she would remember some. She remembers absolutely nothing.
Really?
I'll show her pictures and nope, nothing.
That's funny, dude.
I felt bad because she loved it.
So okay, you opened up another memory for me, because I remember I was having this conversation with somebody, but I was like, yeah, I remember taking this trip with my dad when I was 3 years old, And I was trying to tell my dad, I was like, yeah, I remember that trip. You know, you put me on the donkey. You introduced me to my cousins. You introduced me to my grandpa, my grandma. He's like, what? You were too little. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, I remember everything.
Damn, see, that's
all the little details.
Yeah.
So my question to you would be like, what's your earliest memory that you can think of?
Honestly, I don't have one. Honestly.
Really? You got to have the first one. You got to think as far back as I can remember. I always wanted to be a gangster.
Well, it won't be nothing significant. The earliest memory I can remember is living in the apartments with my brothers and sisters and playing marbles and shit with the kids around the neighborhood.
Okay.
Riding bikes.
How old do you think you were?
I moved out here when I was 6th grade. So 5th, 4th grade, what's that, 7, 8?
Really?
Yeah. I don't have memory. I don't. Dude,
like, nothing stands out to you?
Nothing pops up.
You can't remember kindergarten?
Nope.
Wow.
No, nothing that stands out. I can remember maybe, like, I think I remember certain things.
Well, you gotta remember like little flashes or like.
No, I don't remember the classroom. I don't remember my teacher.
Feelings.
I remember the school because I was there till 5th grade.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I kind of know the layout. I remember middle school. Yeah,
I think I'm discovering this for the first time that a lot of people just have that difficulty remembering far back.
I think you don't have memories of like what was it? I forgot where I saw this where it's a feeling that you remember. So if you remember your grandpa and your cousins, you probably had a really like euphorious feeling. You were probably happy and it was exciting and you felt love.
No, I remember details, man. Yeah. I remember like even what people were wearing.
Well, that's the reason why you remember those details because it was a really good moment for you.
Well, yeah, we all remember the good parts and bad parts. So those are the things that kind of stick with us.
Me, it's kind of like a blur because that's basically just
interesting, man.
School home. We never went nowhere. We never did nothing. I remember my brothers and sisters as kids because we were always together.
Okay.
I remember, but we didn't go nowhere. We didn't travel. We didn't go to parties. Anytime.
Honestly, I remember my first conscious thought. I remember like going into consciousness.
You want some titties and fucking milk or something?
No, man. You would think it'd be like that cool. No, man. I actually remember my baptism.
Oh, wow.
Because I was flipping through photos, and I remember I was telling my mom, "Oh yeah, I remember that day."
Yeah.
I was like, "What? How do you remember?" Like
you were like lucky ones, man.
You were like 2 or like 18 months or something like that. I don't know.
I think I remember like 3rd grade stuff, like shit. Just certain little tiny things like nursery rhymes. We would sing nursery rhymes.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe 3rd grade.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah. I went to I think 5th grade and up is where I remember more because that's when like some cool stuff started happening. I went to summer camp when I was in 5th grade. And then we moved out here. And then I remember middle school obviously.
So what year was it when you did move out here? Do you remember?
It was 6th grade, so 96, 97.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's when we moved out here. So yeah, I was out there when it was the riots. Okay, so see, I'm starting to unlock some shit.
Right. Starting to unlock.
I remember the riots. I do remember a bunch of people running around the
LA
streets.
riots. Yeah, that was like 91.
Yep. Remember ABC Market getting groceries.
What were you in LA or?
I lived in South Central LA. Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
107th and Imperial, right there, right in the meat of it.
You remember?
Yep. So yeah, that's where I lived. So till 6, and then we moved out here.
So we're gonna move on to this next one.
All right.
Number 33. Give me 3 movies you would recommend to my audience and why.
Oh shit. Okay, well we'll start. I'm gonna start.
Give me some easy ones.
I gotta. I'm not gonna get too too philosophical,
artsy fartsy.
I'm gonna break it down. Top Western, Tombstone.
Oh fuck yeah!
Greatest Western and I've ever seen.
There's some other good ones.
Even if you don't like, I'm sure there is, but I think Tombstone's the best.
Yeah.
Because I was not a Western fan, and I love Tombstone. I'm still not a Western fan. There's certain movies that I just...
Well, I got some Clint Eastwood movies to check out, man. They're actually pretty good.
I'm pretty sure I saw them because my dad was a Western guy.
Okay.
It's not that I hate him. I've seen Pale Rider. I've seen Unforgiven. I've seen...
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
See, Pale Rider was one. Josie Wales is another one.
Fistful of Cash, Josie Wales. I've seen all those.
Yeah.
But it's like, I just saw him. It was nothing stand out. I wouldn't... If I never saw him again, I wouldn't be upset. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Tombstone, it's on my DVR. I have a poster in my garage. It's
DVR. How do you not know in the
Well,
DVD?
I have it in my streaming platform.
Okay.
Whatever. I can go to it right now and see.
All right. I guess.
Like it's on my list.
Man. Okay, that's one.
All right, that's one. 2. My best favorite action movie of all time is Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Dude.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
I've always
We're
battled
doing a
this
fist bump,
out.
guys. We're doing
The
a fist bump.
greatest. Yeah. For the audience listening, we just fist
We're
bumped.
looking at each other's eyes.
I know we did.
With gleam.
We locked eyes. For me. It's always been Terminator 2, Judgment Day, or Predator. Those two are like top action movies of all time. Oh, and Die Hard.
Predator was such a man movie.
I'll throw in Die Hard too.
You can quote that whole movie from beginning to end.
Yes.
Just by watching it like once or twice.
That was just pure testosterone.
Yep.
You know,
it was
badass.
It was dope. Yeah.
Yeah, it was badass, man. It just got to the nitty gritty. Just, man versus wild, literally.
Yep.
Fucking wild beast.
And
what's number 3?
Yeah, no. But skip to the next one. What's my third one? Let's see.
Yeah. What is it?
I had to say, I'm staying away from the Marvel stuff because that's like
all right.
recent,
Yeah,
you know?
those are kind of
I'm
like
going like stuff when I was a kid and I saw it, I was like, wow. And it was probably gonna be Fast and Furious.
Really?
Yeah, that was my.
Wouldn't be my choice. I'll tell you that much.
I was thinking Forrest Gump, honestly. Forrest Gump, what it's gonna be, but
well, that one's just overall great.
Yeah, it's just a great movie.
It goes through like if you wanted to know 20th century from like the 50s on up to the 90s, like if you were like
it's
like Mike Myers,
yeah,
if you were like Austin Powers and hey, this is the last 40 years you've missed. I'd be like, yeah, just watch Austin Powers or watch Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And then there you go. It catches you up on
I
the whole
feel the
little
same
timeline.
way about Fast and Furious, only because I feel that movie, like, I wouldn't say like it changed my life, but a lot of my decisions after that movie were based, like, I got into cars.
Okay.
I got into imports. I got into car crews. I mean, the job I have now is with
car parts.
With parts
cars.
So it's just like it affected me, and I just thought it was a cool movie.
I can see that.
I mean, I can argue about the other ones. They're all superheroes now that can fly with cars and stuff. But I'm talking about the
they
OG.
just started to get wackier and wackier. Exactly. I was like, damn.
But the OG one is just a cool movie with some cool cars, and I like
it was definitely a little different at the time, but. In hindsight, I think kind of looking back at it, I was like...
I literally just saying my idea because I saw that you have it highlighted, so I was thinking about that earlier.
Ooh, what do I have highlighted?
That question.
Oh, the question. Okay, so you already...
I kind of already had it.
You were already thinking it.
Okay. I was, like I said, it was Forrest Gump. It was Forrest Gump, my third one, but then right now I was just like, no, it's like, if I had to... that affected me, personally.
No, I liked it. You answered it, and you answered why. Yeah. See, that was the other part of that question. It's like, which ones are your 3? And then why? So you gave some good questions.
Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. The best.
That's cheating. It's like Karate Kid, but
Next
part 1,
question.
2, and 3. Next.
I know.
All right. How about we'll flip it? Top 3 TV shows and why?
Oh. All right. Well, I mean, my top of the list right now is Peaky Blinders. We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah.
I didn't know their intro song was actually an old song. I thought it was only for the show until I don't know. I think I heard it on a movie or another TV show.
And that is technically that's the only old song they use, because if you were to watch the shows, it's based in the 20s.
Yeah.
But all the music
a lot
they
of modern
use,
stuff.
It's all like White Stripes, Royal Blood.
Yeah.
Shit like that, like shit you would know. And it mixes very well.
Yeah, I heard some songs on there like for the first season or second season that really caught my ear, and I even downloaded them, and I was like, wow, this is like some pretty badass shit.
Yeah, they're all from bands that like aren't right now,
I gotta finish the show. I don't know. I'm stuck on season 3.
I can see. I mean, even with me, you watch it too much, you kind of get burnt out a little bit. But it's definitely my top show right now.
Okay.
Let's go. I will do some. We'll do a little.
Yeah. What's number
anime,
2?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, some anime.
Yep.
Wow.
It's just I'm doing shows that I can rewatch and over and over and always.
Okay, that's the value in it, man. And if you could rewatch it, fuck
I have a twofer on the third one because they don't really connect.
All right.
If when I watch one, I have to watch the other after. And
what is it?
The Office and Parks and Recreation.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I haven't seen both.
Yeah.
I haven't seen both, man.
I have to.
I've tried to watch The Office.
Yeah.
It's just so dry. The
season
humor.
1, you have to pass.
Everyone tells me too, like past season 1.
I don't like.
But I figure
1.
like, okay, you gotta know who they are. That's how you get invested.
Yeah.
But then it's just so dry for me.
And these are like personal. And there's a obviously there's a shitload of shows out there. That are awesome,
it's your own personal choice.
You're not gonna pick anything in people, but yeah, for me it was like it's one of those like it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
The Office is just a love story basically.
Yeah, the wacky comedy too.
And Parks and Recreation they're just fucking hilarious. They're just I'm very character driven on my sitcoms, and I have a theory that you look at all the successful sitcoms, the first season is always the weirdest one because the actors are trying to know who their character is.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure who they are.
If they last, you can tell between season 3 and up, they find it and they turn that shit up to 100 because all the characters are just super crazy.
You know what? It's funny you mentioned that perspective. I feel like the show that I watched that I really loved, like all the characters were the same character from the very beginning. Yeah, they had some growth here and there, but their same energy, their same enthusiasm, all that shit was the same for season 1, and that was How I Met Your Mother.
I was gonna say, I thought you were saying Friends.
No,
I've never seen How I Met Your Mother.
So good.
But I don't know. Well, I would advise you to watch the first episode and the last episode, right?
Of what?
Of that show. Did you say How I Met Your Mother?
That's what it was, dude. So that's exactly. So I've gone through it, and I've gone through it again. Yeah. So I've gone through it where I went all the way to season finale, and then I watched it again, and it was like the first episode, and it's the same energy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's crazy.
Same energy, dude. And they even at the last show, they go have like this little flashback montage. I'm like, oh, okay, that's their old character from the first episode, and they pretty much look the same, just a little tad younger. But no, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah, I have not seen that show.
Good one.
Yeah. Does he find the mother?
Yes.
All right, good.
The whole last season is about the mother and finally meeting her, but yeah, it was actually a kind of a twist ending. So
okay.
I'll leave it up to you to kind of watch
I'll get to it eventually.
It's good.
Of all these memes or shows.
It's very clever and funny. That's what's so great.
Yeah.
A lot of good, like it's like our generation's Friends. You know how like everyone in the 90s, that Generation X, that was their show because it was like Friends. It was like, you know, their dating scene, their what's going on. It's like their little time capsule. So for us, you know, during the 2000s, 2010s, that's kind of our little time capsule of
I'll perhaps check it out. Yeah, I just haven't got to that one yet.
Yeah.
But I do love me a good sitcom.
There you go, man.
You got to have a good one because, I mean, every show is either killing or fucking murder or explosions.
Yeah.
You gotta have some comedy in there. At least that's how I feel.
They're trying to one-up each other, definitely. Yeah. I'm glad we kind of get away from the whole reality TV show. I know it's still around, but not as prominent as it was.
Yeah, I think the streaming services killed that. Because,
yes.
I mean, even Kardashians are on a streaming service, but they're not as popular as they were when they were on the E Network, whatever.
Yeah.
And I, for one, have not watched one show, so I'm
neither have I. Fist bump again.
Locking her eyes.
Oh, locking the eyes.
Stop touching me. All right.
Yeah, slow motion.
Exactly.
This magic moment.
I've seen like the only time I've ever seen it was when they do like, just
the clips.
Yeah, the crying stupid shit, the little stuff they make fun of.
Yeah.
I see that like online and stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's the only time I've ever seen anything. Anytime they would do a GIF or a meme, that's the only time I've ever seen. It has nothing to
do with like the style of show. I've watched shows where you see people that have money do fun stuff. And I saw it and saw, that's pretty cool, you know, to see that part of life. I just don't like them. I just don't. I
totally get why.
You know?
Just not your cup of tea. Mine either.
You know?
The one I actually did get into kind of stuck, those reality love shows, like Flavor Flav is the one that actually got me. Because I think everyone used to watch that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you get the wacky girlfriends.
But that was back when people were watching TV.
Yeah.
So, in the, Marry a Millionaire and even Jersey Shore.
I
mean, I think that's the only thing that I might watch.
That was my guilty pleasure. My wife kind of like makes fun of me sometimes and like, you used to watch that show? I'm like, yeah, I used to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was kind of like cool.
That's the reason I'll watch it with her every once in a while. But that
was probably like the closest, I guess, to kind of like our little scene. You know, it was just our young crowd of partying and going out.
It was. They were literally, I think, our age.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah.
Yeah, so it was literally like our ages, you know, and 20-year-olds, and that's probably why we related to it.
Now, and they're all married or divorced, but they all have kids, and they're not the same, which I understand. That I respect that part, because they can't party like they used to.
No, man.
Half of them got fucking kids and shit.
No, we need to plan out like 2-3 weeks ahead of time. Have a babysitter.
Yeah, you know how we try to plan this forever. You got to plan everything.
Yeah, you got to have water.
You
got to have like enough time for a 2-day hangover.
But yeah, man.
All right, moving on to the next question. How about this one here? No, we'll skip this one. We'll go down all the way.
You got a lot of questions.
I'll do this one here at the very last one. How about that? What occupation, other than your own, would you like to try?
Okay. Well, I'm happy that my answer's not anything, because that would suck to live, to work like that. But I don't know. I would love to give music a try again. Maybe not even be in a band, but maybe working at a studio with bands, something musically. Or even being in a band, honestly.
Okay.
But like as an actual occupation.
Yeah.
Honestly, maybe what my plan for retirement. Honestly, when I retire, I'm still gonna work.
I have something in mind, but go ahead. Let me see if it's it.
Well, I'm gonna be movie theater.
I
would be in a movie theater. I'll take the ticket. I don't give a shit. I'll clean the little popcorn. But if I can just
so you'd be like the owner and provider of the movie theater. Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, when I'm retired, I'll be just a worker. I don't give a shit. Just give me a job.
Oh, okay. So you'd be like, instead of being a Walmart greeter, you would just want to work there and just collect the ticket stubs.
Because I can watch.
Well, they don't even do ticket stubs anymore.
Exactly. But I'll go and watch movies.
You scan the barcodes.
Exactly. I'll be a baby. I'm gonna go work for 3 hours, and
I'm
gonna watch like 5 or 6 movies, and then come home every single day. I'll be doing, but to have something to like maybe own my own theater, maybe you know, even though I guess they don't make as much as they used to, but just to have, I love the whole movie scene to go to the movies.
As you can tell, so do I, man.
Yeah,
I love the movie. I love the whole movie setups. I love movies. Mm-hmm. You could ask me anything, and I know anything about everything about movies.
Yeah, but those are but there's also the open up in my own gym.
Oh, that's cool.
Something where something that I can have people come and enjoy themselves. That's what I was thinking. Movie too. They come and enjoy the movies, and they go home and
I think every man thinks of this at one point in their life, but I think we all want to be bar owners.
I was gonna say strip club.
Bar club / owner. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it has like that Cheers kind of homesy feel to it, where people come to you to kind of feel better and just being part of that equation. I think guys can really, hey man, take a load off, take a seat, have a beer, what's going on with you, and then maybe you could share some of that bar wisdom.
But that's I the only reason I wouldn't, because it's when we're working at a bar that's in the service industry. I would not work in the service industry.
I think you're probably looking at it that way.
Yeah, but you're thinking of an owner, like if I don't have to like deal with the people, I'm just walking around. Hey, chill. Hey, Chuck. Hey, Bill.
Be that guy.
Make sure you tip your waitress.
How's it going, buddy?
That's in a perfect scenario.
Usually
you got,
or you do the old like, hey, drinks on me, everyone.
Exactly.
And everybody starts cheering you and getting that little like
that ever happens.
I had that happen to me one time, man. One time I was at this place in Corona, actually, not too long ago. This was a couple weeks ago. But we were all hanging out. I went to go pick up my wife. We met up there for brunch. And we're all at the bar, and we're all having a good time. DJ was playing good music, and this guy just offered to buy everyone a round of drinks. Everybody just kind of cheered him on and just gave him a little like, hey, man, thanks for the shot of tequila.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'd never seen it, and that was kind of the first time, and I always wanted to do that.
Yeah, I don't think
I'll probably do that one day.
Yeah, one of these days.
Yeah.
Just make sure there's nobody there.
Draft only. No, like early, no imports.
The bar just opened.
Domestic.
There's like 3 people in there. Like, hey, I'll bring it all around.
Yeah. What?
No. You didn't hear me? I said it. Whatever. You didn't hear it.
Whatever. You didn't hear it? Too bad.
Exactly. That's hilarious. But yeah, just something to do where people can come, have a good time. and leave and then pay me.
Yeah, leave and then pay me.
Exactly.
I like it, man. So let's see. Oh, we're getting closer, but we still got some more time, man. Let's drop some more questions.
What's our time frame here? What do we do?
Well, usually I like to do like an hour, just to keep it short and sweet. But I know sometimes it gets an hour and a half.
I know.
Sometimes it gets 2 hours.
I think this out.
Yeah, I think the last one was like 2.5 hours, but that was a whole lot of drinking. A whole lot of just friends and energy. That's so, it was kind of hard to say, all right, we're cutting it off.
Exactly, huh?
And I gave everybody what they wanted. I gave them almost the raw audio. Not everything, but almost.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, let's, all right, hey, here's a good one. If you could have one superpower, what would you be? Or what would it be?
Probably... I mean, the easy ones is to fly and to like. I'll probably just super strength, something like that I can use.
There you go.
Yeah, something simple.
Yeah, be like fucking Mr. Incredible.
There you go. Yeah. I think that's
I think you already hit the nail on the head for me, man. I'd want to fly.
Flying?
Yeah, flying is cool, man. I did the skydiving thing, and honestly, that was probably the closest I'll ever come to that because it really felt like you were flying.
That is the closest you're ever gonna get.
Yeah, it was
and live anyways.
Yeah, and live.
Yeah. Flying's cool. I mean, that's definitely something that'd be fun. It's just you're the only ones flying by yourself, so it's like I feel kind of lonely.
Okay.
It's with strength I can, fucking lift the car up to impress my kids or something. I don't know.
Just pick it on up.
Yep. But yeah, that's definitely one that's I would pick. That'd be my answer.
All right. Well, tell us more about you, man. Let's talk about the family. Let's talk about plans for the future or anything like that. So whatever you want.
Well, I'm a Libra. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Well, no, it's just
long walks on the beach.
People who know me know my story basically. I'm just a normal guy. Things I enjoy doing I enjoy going to work and coming home to my family. And on the weekends is when I like to do things with my family. I do have to make time for friends, which I don't really do as much as I think I should. But that's only because...
Well, it's tough being a family man.
Exactly. And, growing up, like I said, the memories I do have of my family is together are very few and far between. And it was just us going to, like, family parties and stuff. And I don't want my kids to do that. I want them to remember all vacations, road trips, SeaWorld, Disney World, all that shit, so. Yeah. And the weekends are our weekends. During the week is basically it's kind of military status. We work,
it's kind of routine.
Homework for the kids. My wife, does what she does for the kids. We cook. We try to clean. I hit the gym when I can. Yeah. And,
I've been noticing, man. You've been getting there really early.
Yeah. I got no time afterwards, honestly.
Honestly, work's been sucking up my time, so I've actually been doing more smaller workouts than before I would do like 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
2 hours a day, and it'd be like every other day. Now it's just kind of like 30 minutes or an hour here, 30 minutes and an hour here.
But every day now.
But it'll be like, either every day or maybe 2 days and then take one off and then 2 days and then take one off.
Yeah, like it was getting tough after work.
It is.
Go home and
it's hard.
The kids. And when we had one kid, or maybe I was younger, I'd get home, hang with the kid, hang with my wife, eat dinner. By 8 o'clock came, kids sleep, my wife's getting ready for bed, and I'd go to the gym.
Okay.
And it was like that, and it was perfect. And I can't do that no more.
Yeah.
So I've been going to the gym, getting there around 5 a.m. 4:45, 5 a.m.
Bro, that's good.
It's been 3 weeks now. Yes, it is hard.
That's why I commend you, man, because the hardest part is getting up in the morning.
This is the week where I'm finally I think I'm clicking to where
okay.
Like I go Monday, easier. I go a little bit, yeah. Monday through Thursday, I go 4 days straight, so that way I can have my Friday, Saturday, Sundays free.
Recovery time.
And in the afternoons, I'm there with my family, free, help my wife out, and and it's me time in the gym. There's literally 5 people there.
There you go.
It's always the same people, which is cool. You have the whole gym. I'll get something that would take me maybe 2 hours in the afternoon. I'll get it done within an hour 15.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I'm finally getting. This week, I felt the easiest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
that's good, man.
Yeah, and other than that, I'm just I'm a family guy who I enjoy long walks on the beach. You know, reading a good book by the fireplace. I'm just kidding.
There you go.
No, I like to have fun with friends, have fun with my family.
What do you see yourself as you're getting older? What are the things you want to try, maybe that you haven't tried?
You mean like drugs and stuff? Sexual? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, Viagra's getting right there, so there you
go. Damn. I see that Hims box in the corner right there.
That's my supply.
No, things I want to try in the future. There's little things like to make myself better. Something as easy as like next year, I want to start. I have guns. I do have guns, but I feel I want to be a more responsible gun owner and know more about them, and you know how to take that shit apart. And so like next year, I want to like focus on like that be my hobby to where I'm gonna go to the shooting range and you know learn how to shoot better, learn how to clean my own shit better, learn more to be more comfortable with it, because you know you can't just. I don't want to just have a gun and throw it in the closet. Yeah, you know I feel it's irresponsible. So stuff like that, and then when I'm done with that, you know, whenever I feel comfortable, then I go to the next one. Maybe learn another language or trying to read more books. Man, I bought some books and I've been reading.
There you go.
I try to read in front of my kid to like show her.
Yeah.
You know, hey, reading's fun, but
reading you can do.
You know, at the end of the day, I read more articles than anything. Like
I think we're all like that. We're all just like we catch something that catches our eye, and then you just want to know the details. Yeah. For me, it's like Reddit. I'm on that. All the time. So Reddit has like all these interesting articles, and it's really everyone just upvotes it. So like obviously the best articles or the best pieces of news, you know, they get voted to the top. Yeah. So I'm always kind of like, okay, well these are the top ones, and like, what's up? Let me go through these. What's interesting? What's cool?
I'm more of just informational. I will watch something on TV or somewhere, and they're talking about. Even like Roe versus Wade, like I was like, oh, okay, I've heard of it. I know it's about abortion, but what is it really about? Yeah, what is it? So I would look it up and I'll read, you know, the whole gift story, anything like that. Just something pops up, I'm like, I'm not sure about. Yeah. Go to Mr. Google and you read about it and you learn.
You look for the answers.
And I enjoy that more than anything. But you know, I do that at work. I do that, but I'm trying to force myself to like, even if it's reading something on my phone in front of my kids, so they know, you know, you just can't watch TV all day.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, man. But
no, I'm the same way. Like I try to like, you know, if I come across something, you know, maybe trying to get where they're coming from, or you know, they bring up something as a reference. It's like, okay, what's that reference? What, you know, something happened back in the days. I'm a huge history nerd, so anytime anyone brings up history, I'm all like, really? I didn't know that. So I'll bring it up, or I'll try to look it up and just try to get better familiar with it.
Yeah. But at the age I'm at now, my main thing is just trying to stay drama free. Yeah. And
of course,
you know, it depends. You know, it's staying away from certain places, and unfortunately, staying away from certain people. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of people that
that's true.
I consider friends for years that I can't be around them because it's just they're either too negative or too. It's just they're still stuck in that the time old ways. Where I'm not there no more, and. You know, not that I hate them or but I just don't, you know, I don't want to hang. And sometimes you feel bad, and sometimes you get a little sad because you're like, you miss those guys. But then at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's a benefit not to be around them. Yeah.
Well, you got more going on with you. I mean, you're the family man, so definitely, you know, you're just looking for what's best. You know, who to bring around and who to kind of like, you know, not be around. Struggle. Yeah, I mean, your mom. As being a husband and father, you have to. That it's true. I think it's true that if you're a husband and a father, every decision you make, you have to put your family into account. Yeah, they're part of that equation.
I know people that don't. I know people. I know people that have kids and they don't give a. It's what they want, and then that's
my way or the highway, huh?
And it's I don't know why they're like that, but it is what it is. I don't tell. I don't know.
Maybe it's the old way of thinking. It's kind of like the man leads, and you know whatever he says goes.
You know, I think every guy probably wishes that was true. Maybe even me, but it's not. My wife and we're partners. We're
Absolutely.
We're equal. She's
yeah.
She physically I overpower her, but mentally she's the top dog. She strengthens all my weak points.
No, that's good, and you
So,
balance each other out.
Yeah.
I like that, and that really is. That's kind of what a marriage is. It's like we're that yin and yang. It's that balance. We're over here trying to just complement each other.
Yeah.
Try to make each other better.
I mean, nothing's ever perfect, but it's the good. The good definitely outweighs the bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And we become Voltron. We combine each other.
Oh, that's what you call it.
Yeah, we just combine as one. We literally connect together. Dun dun dun.
That's crazy.
I know. We got some wacky jokes.
I know.
We got some dad jokes.
Yeah, but that's it, man. And just trying to live in this crazy world. I mean, there's so much crazy shit going on right now.
There is so much.
Yeah, you just
to encapsulate everything that's going on in this little time capsule. I mean, we got Ukraine war still going at it. We got inflation.
Yeah.
We got, presidents going to jail soon, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know, man.
I don't know. I mean, what else comes to mind when you think of right now?
Well, I mean, you have the whole, I'm sorry if I say it wrong, but the LGBTQ, which I'm, honestly, 3 years ago, I didn't know there was so many letters.
Yeah, but they keep adding to it.
So that's like, coming up a lot to where I don't know what to say sometimes. And
well, I think everyone's like in that mind space of like, don't offend me, and you have to use my pronouns, which I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of like,
no, you don't have to use the pronouns. You don't. It's like, no, if you
to me,
no, I'm saying you don't have to. If you want to, you go ahead.
Yeah.
If I want to, I go ahead. If you want to be called whatever you want to call, I have no problem calling you that. But the fact that if I don't, all this is, I can be reprimanded by whatever. Yeah. I think that's not right. But
I think the idea behind it is like, okay, it's kind of like if I go about my way and tell you, hey, can you just use this pronoun? Sure. Okay, cool, no problem.
Exactly.
But if you deliberately be that asshole and and deliberately
and there are
don't use
like
it, then you're kind of like, okay, well, why are you doing that?
Yeah, exactly. If somebody says like, oh, well, I consider myself a male now, you should be like, that's okay, cool, no problem. Whatever you want me to call you, that's fine.
Yeah,
I got no issues. But you do have those assholes that are like, no, you're not one of those. I don't care. You're not. You can't make me. But nobody's making you. Yeah, they're asking to be respected. To what they want to be at. And I'm 100% cool with that.
Yeah.
I just I've had instances where I said something as simple as "ma'am," and they were like pissed. And I'm like, dude, whatever. Sorry, I guess you could say. But then I got mad. Yeah. At you getting mad at me for me, stating the obvious. You're a fucking you're a woman. Yeah. I don't care how short your hair is, but
it kind of reminds me of that one meme, or not the meme, the little video that came around. This is a transgender woman that was harassing somebody at a gas station, and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, dude." He's like, "It's ma'am," and like said it all loud.
Exactly.
I remember me and my wife always kind of giggle about that, but it's kind of like, it's like, well, it's sometimes it's people, it's their simple ignorance. It's like, oh, okay, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm just addressing you as how I normally would address somebody when I see somebody, that's clearly a man or clearly a woman. I'm just like, hey, ma'am, or hey, sir. It's like, it's just the manners. We don't know how you want to be addressed, or if you want to be addressed that way.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard this, but like, I don't want to get too political, but I've never seen myself too left, too right, but I've heard a joke saying liberalism. I'm considering myself liberal because we're the party of I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You want to be who you want to be?
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You want to be called whatever? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Don't put me. But
what?
For the most part, I'm like that. But when it comes to certain things where I have to like explain to my kids how things work, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to because it's, even as an adult, I'm barely learning it. So how am I going to try to teach it to my kid? You know, when I'm not even sure.
I think if it has anything to do with, obviously political, religious, or sexual orientation, that stuff, it's like all that stuff's waiting for you when you're an adult. Yeah. When you're a kid, be a kid.
Exactly.
Be ignorant and carefree. And
people say, they'll learn it in the home. Like, I didn't learn none of that shit in the home.
It's like, I don't know.
Like,
it's
I don't think you learn. I think,
I always tell my nieces and nephews, it's like you have the rest of your life to be an adult.
Yeah,
be a kid.
Yeah.
You know, you'll figure that stuff out.
I'm trying to teach my daughter how to be like a liberal. Like, they let them do what they want to do. You know, as long as it doesn't hurt you physically.
Yeah.
You know, who cares? Let them do. Let them be them. Let they're happy.
Let them express themselves. Because hey, we all went through those wacky fashion stages in high school where that was our self-expression.
Thanks, Mom. She wouldn't let me do that, so I don't have no pictures.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen pictures of all you guys wearing that.
I actually never did the trends or the fads.
Oh yeah, but I've seen.
But
I've
there
seen
was some
them,
friends. You know, they did the whole bangs and bleaching and. Fashion statements.
No, I never really.
But each generation has their own way of expressing themselves, and when you get to that age of teenagehood and you want to express yourself, by all means.
Yeah, but it's just it's a little confusing, but I'm learning. That's one of the things where I'm trying to. I don't want to just be like. I want to be to where I don't care what you want to do. But I at least want to be informed what it is you're trying to do. Yeah. So I can, you can learn. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. I guess the older we get, the more we're just not in tune to the times.
Yeah, exactly.
And you kind of get lost, and the world moves so fast. It's like, oh no, that was last year. Or it's like, oh no, we're not doing that anymore. Now we're this. I had a
conversation with a couple of older coworkers of mine, and they were telling me that they noticed, like, if you look at a commercial now, is like. If it's a mom and a dad in a commercial, they're always mixed. Yeah. And till before that, I never noticed. Yeah. But after they said that, I looked and I'm like, damn, they're right. But then I'm like, so?
Exactly.
And they kind of were like, so either, but they were like, well, why are they trying to? They're showing what the world looks like. Yeah. There are a lot of people that are mixed. I'm in a mix. Yeah. Just because we're the same color. Yeah, our ethnicities are different. So we're
technically you are in interracial marriage.
So I'm like, what does it matter? And they were not like, they're trying to jam down our throats. Yeah, but they're like, well, they're gonna represent what the world is now, and that's the way the world is now.
That's same thing with the certain superheroes too, man. They're just trying to make everyone from all walks of life. Hey, here's your superhero you can look up to.
Yeah. And I see no problem with that. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. By all means. But it's not always going to sell the same. Some might not be as popular as the other ones.
It's a risk. I mean, it's like the Lightyear movies. I guess is doing horrible because of the lesbian scene in there. I haven't seen it. Yeah,
it's actually a good movie. I went to go see it. I hear it's really good.
Everyone that I know that's seen it say it was a great movie, but it's not doing well. And it's all because of some, I guess you've seen it.
Well, there was just a little bit of controversy that they didn't want to show it in the Saudi Arabia or the Middle Eastern place. I mean, that's all. It was the hoopla.
That's a risk. They knew the risk. Yeah. And, they probably would have made more money if they didn't do it, but I'm glad they did. Cause
I think it's still going to make its money at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, hopefully it does, but... Like I'm saying, it's a good thing that they did. It's the way the world is right now. There's
which was really. I watched the movie. I'm like, well, that was it. That was the big hoopla.
We should see it enough to where it's normal. Where when we see it, it's like, okay, two girls. Remember 20 years ago we saw two girls kiss on TV. We were like, oh, you see them kiss? Wild Things. Remember Wild Things?
Wild Things. Yes.
The movie Wild Things.
Yeah, the Wild Things. We looked at it in a whole nother manner. We weren't looking at it like, we were looking at it like, hey.
But now it's like, you see that shit fucking on any Netflix show right now. Yeah. Fucking. Yeah. So it's.
Well, back then it was for a purpose. They were really trying to tantalize us.
Right. But I'm saying, it's like, if you were to see that now the exact same way, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nothing.
That's cool. Yeah. The other girl didn't even show her boobs. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know. I was just kissing.
It's only one pair, exactly. But it's just the norm now where I can see that's why a lot of people are freaking out because it is the norm and they want to go backwards and forwards.
Well, I think a lot of people, they end up just staying in their lane, staying in their ways, And the world changes, man. The world changes. It passes you by if you're still stuck in the past. And the world changes because new generations are coming above us or below us, and they push forward new change and new perspective. And nothing stays the same. And we're always trying to just catch up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to better myself, because like I said, only because I have kids. And if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't give a crap what anybody did, because it doesn't affect me. I'm here to make money and to have fun. But when I have 2 kids that I got to teach them how to be functioning adults, I have to learn what they're learning, because last thing I want is them to, hear something or do something, and then they come to me and I'm like, I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? I that's what I'm afraid of the most.
Yeah, and there'll probably come a time where they'll come up to you and they'll bring new information or new point of views, and you'll be like, hey, what is this? What are you talking about?
That's cool.
And then they'll have to explain it to you.
Exactly.
They'll have to show you.
Adults when that happens. That'll be more preferable. But if they're like, my daughter's 10 and she came to me right now with some oddball question, I'm like, oh shit, what are they doing?
What?
What is it?
What are they doing on TikTok?
Oh my gosh, show me the picture.
What's the challenge now? Oh my god, what are we eating now?
Exactly, right? So it's just that's the only reason why I'm trying to. I pay attention to little things like that, and 9 times out of 10 it's just overblown drama shit. That's so dumb.
It absolutely is, but you know what? You got a good head on your shoulders, so you're gonna do great. So no worries. The world is going to change, and you're going to change with it. And we're all going to just keep flowing with it.
I tell my daughter, I don't care who likes you or don't like you, but if you do, if you stay true and you do good, like just at whatever it is you do, I'm not even wording it right. For me, I told her respect is what I would treasure more from anyone.
Yeah. Just treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly. There's people that I know don't like me. Yeah. But I know they respect me. Yeah. Because I don't know, I assume they respect me. Yeah. And there's people that I'd rather have somebody not like me and respect me than somebody like me and not respect me. True. Put it that way. If I had to word it that way.
I like that.
That'd be the one. That'd be
that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, because, liking somebody changes. I can say something right now and leave and be like, oh, that fucking Ramon, fuck that guy. And then, I'll come back another podcast, say something dope, and they were like, oh, well, he was a cool guy. Yeah. But no, but if you see me as a man who takes care of his family and loves his wife and loves his kids, that's all I care about. If you see me that way, that's all that matters.
I like that, man.
Yeah. And I literally only hang out with people I respect right now. That's my main thing. And that's why I hang out with you. That's why I hang out with...
I was going to say, man, it's been a while since we hung out.
This is where you live now?
Throwing it out there.
What's your last name again? But the only people I consider friends are people that I hang out with, people that I want over my home or even go to their homes, people I respect. Because if I just don't have time for you.
There you go, man. I like that. Yeah. So we're going to wrap this up, and I'm going to give you the last words. Usually I always give it, the guest choice to kind of end on a quote, end on a story, or end on anything you just want to share or convey to the audience before we wrap this up.
All right, let's see. Well, whoever's listening, just know that just every day try to be better than the person you were the day before. Mm-hmm. That's it. Just whatever person you are right now, whatever you did today, whatever you try to accomplish today, just try to be better than that tomorrow. Not anybody else, not anybody or family or online or celebrities. Just focus on whoever you are exactly right now at this moment. Focus tomorrow on trying to be better than you are right now. Yeah. And I think if you do that, you'll be fine.
Compete with yourself. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Focus on you, how to make yourself better. Yep. I agree. 100%. So with that being said, we're going to wrap this up. Thank you everyone for listening, and hope to catch you on the next one. Take it easy.